Welcome back to our St. Louis Blues rebuild in Franchise Hockey Manager 11. We've approached halfway through the season and we find ourselves in first place in the Central Division with 55 points, 26 wins, 12 losses, and 3 overtime losses. So far the experiment has worked out and a lot of the players that we end up having are doing pretty decent. So we'll take a closer look at how well everyone's stats are going, and then we'll look at the transactions as well. Stutzel with 43 points, Martoni with 32, Hagen with 31, DuPont with 30, and Spanberg only with 29. So he's definitely going to need to improve that. Zelezny with 29, and Frondell making his debut for us with 26. So it's his first season. He's on $7 million a year. Obviously, we expect a little bit more than that, but he is only around a 50-point player. I was kind of expecting a little bit more based on his stats. Aaron with 23 and 39 games. Bieber with 22, and then Cool with 18. So a lot worse than I would have expected, but grades are pretty decent for most of the players. Even Spanberg at 71. But yeah, this is where it kind of gets interesting. You have Frondell, who actually is playing as a center for some of it. That's kind of weird, with a 66 grade. So something that you don't like about that. Goalies though, Reinhold holding it down with 3-2-0, but his .916 save percentage is pretty good. And then Augustin with 36 games, 23 wins, and 10 losses, 3 losses coming in overtime, 238 goals against, and then a .902 save percentage, which is, I mean, kind of what you expect from him. Obviously, he's going to probably end the season around .910, hopefully, rather than 800. But we'll look at some of the transactions that we end up doing. I don't think we end up doing any since the last episode. So we'll look at the trades. Yeah, we end up getting Allen, but that was beforehand, and then obviously Dickinson we ended up getting rid of in the off season. So far, it looks like that's kind of worked out for us. And looking again for next season, we have Boston Bruins first round pick, and same thing with Florida Panthers. I was looking at their team earlier to kind of see where they are, but yeah, they're around 500. So in terms of the whole league, though, they're probably around top half, though. Yeah, they're around top half. Same thing with Panthers. They're around the same mark. So that pick's not necessarily going to mean anything, but we're going to try and get things done when we can. We do face off against Dallas Stars. We'll look at the trade block as well to see if there's anyone that looks interesting. We do give up the first goal. Spanberg and Bieber score in the second to give us a lead, and then Spanberg and Aaron score in the third. So it's like he heard me. But yeah, we'll look at the trade block now. Yeah, and Bouchard's the only one that's really available. Thomas, we could bring back home, but it would be around $4 million, and I'm not sure who I would get rid of for him. And I'd have to look at what we traded him for, because unless, yeah, it's 2 first-round picks, so I can't really justify doing that. I think it would be rather expensive, and most likely they wouldn't do it. He's only grading around a 62, so I don't even think I want him at this point. It would be a little bit, yeah, too little too late at that point, but we do get our 27th win. Our record's starting to look pretty good, though. Like, our home record's pretty decent, and our away record's not too bad. Obviously, when you end up looking at it, we're not playing terribly. We do have Calgary and Chicago. Chicago doing a little bit better than they did prior, but still not looking like the team that you would have expected from them. We'll take a look at the league just to kind of confirm that. Yeah, 14-6-1 at home, and then 13-6-2, so roughly around the same. And our shootout record has improved from last year. I don't know what changes we did from this year to last year, but for whatever reason, it does seem like it is working out for us. Facing off against Calgary at home, we do win 5-2 there. So adding to the lead there, Letourneau, Dupont, and Cool with 2, and then Martoni scores an empty net goal to put the game beyond all doubt. 59 points, but Colorado is, I mean, they are hunting us down though. But they do have well, 1 game at hand at this point, and 4 points separating us. So, like I said, I'd rather take the points than take the games for sure, because I know with our luck sometimes we end up going on a little bit of skid. We do face off against Chicago here. 4-1 win, so Reinhold maintaining his save percentage for sure. Osgood, Aaron, and Cool score in the first, and then Litorno scores in the third. So far our signings are showing up, at least when we need them. They might not show up the whole season, but as long as they can manage to show up when it is required for them, that's all I can really hope for. But with that, yeah, it still separates us 6 points clear. They do have that one extra game, but most likely it's going to be against a tougher team. They do get, 4 points now? So it looks like they got some points on that one. Anaheim and Vegas are the next ones up. Vegas doing very good, and Anaheim Ducks not doing as great, but hopefully can manage to add on to that lead there. Anaheim Ducks, 5-2 win. Plaxton with his 6, Stutzel and Spangberg score, and then Spangberg and Litorno score. So all in all, not bad at all. Augustin still in the top of goals against, but I think that speaks a lot more for our defense system for sure. I think lefty is not now considered a favorite, or like a popular one. But we're still doing pretty decent. It looks like Stepanov has been injured. Yeah, Stepanov's still injured. We're going to put you to IR, like I said. Why carry on that cap? 3-0 win against the... Wow, that was a statement there. Stutzel, Osgood, and Zelezny with the only goals in that game. Crazy. One of our first losses against the Knights this season, and we managed to at least make them work for sure. We do face off against LA and Minnesota next. Minnesota doing pretty decent, and LA not so much. So kind of a mixture that we're doing throughout the season is we're at least not facing off all the hard teams at once. But obviously you don't know that when the schedule's made. So just kind of more so luck here. And as I say that, we're probably going to lose this game. 4-1 win. So nice streak going. Aaron Cool score after we go down 1-0. And then Watson and Plaxton scores a shorthanded goal. See a lot of shorthanded goals, surprisingly. But let's take a look at what our streak's looking like in the league. And yeah, that's our 7th win. Pretty good. And now just looking at Boston and Panthers looking like they're improving. Jesus. It's either they're improving or every other team's getting much worse. But that is a little bit upsetting. Obviously, kind of banking on a top pick is what we were really hoping for. But yeah, there's not much that separates them between the bottom, though. So even if they end up going on a little bit of a skid, we should be able to benefit from that. But even if I end up having to trade away those picks for next year's picks, I'm completely okay with that. So looking at the ranking throughout this year, and it does look like, yeah, if we can get Simon Langham, I don't know why it looks like it says that he's better than what it looks, but if we could get him, that would be pretty good. He's not necessarily the top guy, but I might even sign him year one. We don't have patience for Lilly or Molden. They're not at that level yet. 5-star does nothing for us if we're not going to be here to kind of see it through. So obviously, higher the ranking, the better. But obviously, those guys goes pretty quick as well. Another 7-4 win there. Huggins, Stutzel, and Olsen, and then Stutzel again in the first, and then Litorno in the second, and then Stutzel and Zelezny. So Stutzel gets a hat trick. Aaron with 3 assists, and same thing with Spanberg. I kind of missed that. I didn't even really see Spanberg's name pop up, but that's what I like to see. So despite us doing very well, looks like Avalanche are also doing very well at the exact same time, which is a little bit frustrating, but not much you can do. A trade ends up going through. Case and Anderson for a second. Does not look like anything that we've been able to get for a 3-star player, and then Altorn for a 5th. How does that make sense? That's wild. So 3-star player goes for a 5th. I guess his defense maybe. Defense is highly coveted. So maybe that's why. It's they don't care about forwards. Should be interesting because you kind of want to do a defensive team then. 5-1 win there against Blackhawks. Yeah, they're not doing good. I'm gonna have to do a series, even just a short one with Blackhawks. They definitely have the best player in the game, and for whatever reason they can never win. So I think I might do like a 3-year rebuild for that. Cool, Spanberg and Dupont, and then Aaron score, and Martoni gets his 15th. Yeah, it seems wild that Blackhawks never end up winning. And then he never ends up going to like a good team either. So yeah, Bedard kind of stuck in purgatory throughout his career, especially in the game. And looks like Allen's going to be sick. That kind of sucks though. Put him to the IR, even though he doesn't really command that much. Like I said, every little bit helps. And there's not much you can really do. It does give Petry a chance to maybe get some game time here. 5-2 win there. Meager scores, Hagen and Spangberg, and then Stutzel with 2. So everyone kind of coming alive. Our streak is probably pretty decent now at this point. We do have 10 points clear, but 3 games at hand for Colorado. And does look like they might actually win those ones too. But it looks like the West is just between us two, for sure, of who ends up getting dominance of it. Because even though Vegas are at the top there, it does look like it's between us. So winning streak 10, I think that's the longest that I've had in this series. That should mean that we should be able to run away with this year, right? 4-2 win, so that's 11. Jesus. Meager, Zalesny, and Spangberg, Dupont end up scoring there. We now face off against Florida, which will be an important game. Janu now hurt. Vic converts to right wing. Nice to see that. Nice mixture between every kind of position. So 3-star player definitely showing out for sure. He does grade pretty decently. But the fact that he can play a little bit everywhere. Mental's maybe not what you would want, but I think that's okay every once in a while. I mean, I do want Reinhold to get a little bit more starts, though, but we haven't had too many back-to-back games this season. So I don't know if they've kind of adjusted that throughout another patch of not playing so many back-to-back games, but I haven't seen nearly as much as what I've had in the past. And usually they're against 2 really good teams at the same time. So facing off against Florida, this will be an important one. They do win. That is kind of frustrating. We do lose in shootouts though. Also, Martoni scores, but ultimately we couldn't get the job done. Stutzel ends up getting a goal, and Bolduc gets a goal. Damn it! In the shootout, and then Stenlund being the one that puts us away. So the streak had to end at some point. Can't say I'm disappointed or I'm upset or anything. There's no one to really blame for that loss. We just couldn't get it done. It's a close game, and for whatever reason, that goalie is like Blomqvist is just an amazing goalie at 2 stars. I don't understand it. Maybe goalies don't really matter in this game. But as I say that, Augustin's 32 wins and 221 goals against average could say differently, but and he was lights out in the postseason last season. It's just the injuries just kept piling up. And we do get goalie of the month though, so that's pretty good. He is at a 911 save percentage, so I am kind of right about that. Yeah, we do sell a decent amount of jerseys, so there's going to be a lot of money from that. And Hans Jacob, looking like he is everything as advertised and proving pretty good. 3-star player potential. And who else looks like they could be good for us maybe early on? Appleby was one of the first round picks that we ended up getting last season. He looks like he's progressing pretty decent. Dave Henry couldn't quite crack the lineup. And then Joey Stewart as well, still in the AHL. Just kind of an acquisition that we ended up getting last season, which we ended up drafting, obviously, but we don't think we really even played him that much. We do face off against Detroit. I'm going to get Reinhold to get an opportunity here. 4-3 win. What can you do? Overtime as well. Hagen scores in the first. And we do go down 3-1. Martoni and Zelezny end up tying it up, and then Bieber scores in overtime. Is Detroit a good team? Detroit's a top team, so that's comforting to see. So maybe we don't have to do as many acquisitions at the trade deadline. I don't really envision us doing that much. I'm going to look at free agency pretty soon. Watson is now hurt. Watson doesn't command that much, and Petrie as well. So that's we'll do AI SEP organization, see if they end up switching anything. So we'll put him to IR for sure if he's not going to end up playing for us. So we'll end up having to look at that. So now we'll look at free agents too. See if anything kind of pops up. No one really good enough. So it is what it is. Sasha Boisfer looks decent. Transaction-wise, trading block. Yeah, still same. Luchenko we could get though. That'd actually be a pretty good upgrade there. Grades around a 65. He's 29 points. Just for giggles, let's see how much it would cost. Obviously, I don't want to do anything. I did have one for here. I'll do, if it still shows it, I'll show you it. I did have one, and I feel as though this is extremely unrealistic. Like, why is he on your trade block if you're not willing to entertain it? It wasn't him. It was, who was the other one? We had another one that we were trying to go for that I swear I had 3 first rounders and a decent prospect and a decent player, and they did, oh no, maybe a decent player. I think it was Bieber and 3 first rounders and a second rounder, and they didn't even entertain it. And I was like, what? In what world would no one entertain that kind of trade? So we face off against Pittsburgh here. 6-2 win. So we've managed to get a point in almost every single game that we played here. Frondell with his 10th, Meager with his 7th, and then Plaxton, Kuhl, and Zelezny score, and then Stutzel gets one at the very end. So what can you really do about that? But still crazy that we managed to pick up a point in every single game that we've showed. I swear I did not break the game, but for whatever reason, it seems to like us in this new year. In 2035, looks like it should be our year. If we do not win, I think I'm going to be devastated. The fact that we've been able to win so many straight against so many different teams and managing, like, obviously manageable injuries. None of them look like they're for that long, so hopefully you can manage to keep things going. We still find ourselves 10 points clear. They do have the two extra games, but like I said, they're winning at the same rate that we are. So it's crazy. It's crazy to see that 2 teams dominating at the exact same time. A little frustrating, but not much they can do. We face off against Islanders here. We do win 5-2. Hagens, Martoni, and we did have Sisek at some point. Plaxton scores and Kuhl. So let's kind of look at how Sisek is playing. He looks like he's bounced around between AHL and NHL. What do we get for him? Got a second rounder for him, so not all that bad. He hasn't really played too much. In the NHL, he has only played, well, he's played 145 games, 125 points. That is sneakily underrated. So yeah, he got 34 points with us in 57 games, which is pretty good. We obviously sent him down, played in the AHL, and then 72 and 34. So I don't even know where he got all those. Am I even looking at it? Maybe National League's the one that I was looking at. So 81 points in 183 games. So it still played a decent amount, but obviously not to the level that we would expect. Bieber now hurt. Going to go to, hopefully to IR. Sore back, day to day. These are the ones that I would expect. I would expect these kind of injuries throughout our experience, not every single time 2 people go for months on end. That doesn't happen in real life that often. Yeah, sure, you might have 2 players off for injury, but it doesn't typically happen all at the same time. like what it does to us on a repeated fashion. Bullmauler, the guy that we ended up getting, that we traded away, looks like he's doing pretty decent. Well, 58 grade's not actually that great. We traded him away last year, I guess, yeah. So he played only 10 games for us. And then, sorry, we traded him this year. He was playing for Carolina beforehand. But like I said, the contract was just a bit too much for us. Obviously, we had every intention of playing him, but there's not much you can do there. And 4-2, another point there. Dupont and Dobson end up scoring there. And then Hoggins and Martoni getting on the score sheet there. We're now hitting the All-Star break, so it's probably getting close to the point where we should kind of look to see where we're going to go. But we'll kind of look at the All-Star game. We'll probably play the Winnipeg game after that. I'm just curious to see if any of our players actually get picked. I wouldn't be surprised if none of them get picked since none of them got awards. But we'll have to take a look. So Augustin actually getting the nod, and same thing with Stutzel. Dupont getting the nod as well. So Team Red ends up winning. What team did they go on? So Team Red looking like it has 2 of our players, and then Team Blue with only 1. So obviously we want Team Red to win. So they won the skills. And not really seeing much on that. Even Dupont gets beat there. And then I know they usually play the game right after. And it doesn't really show that, so maybe not then. But at least we got 3 guys picked. That's better than most years. I don't remember seeing it really come up in the past. Okay, yeah. Team Red defeats Blue 7-6. Okay, so yeah, Stutzel, nothing. And then Augustin. Yeah. Augustin did okay, 2 goals against. And Dupont didn't do well either, so what can you really do? But we'll probably play this last game here and kind of take a look at who's available and what we should probably do. So we finally, our last game here, we do not get a point there. Maybe we shouldn't have played Augustin there. He's probably extremely tired if I had to get 714 save percentage. That's going to really hurt that. He's around a 68, so I don't know if that means that he was tired from the All-Star game. Could be, but either way, let's look at this league. We'll do wildcards first. So between us and being out of the playoffs, we have 24 points, so I'll take that all day. Looks like we should be crystal clear of being able to make it. In terms of league, though, we are in first, 4 points clear of Washington. Washington kind of sneaking up there. I wasn't really expecting them. But Colorado also on our heels, and then Red Wings doing pretty good with 76. Yeah, Vegas kind of fell off just a little bit, but looking at the Bruins, they do find themselves down there, but Panthers all the way up there, so I doubt that pick's going to really matter. So we might even look at trading it now. And Rasmus Dahlin available. Now we'll do this just to see what he's worth. Spangberg currently the only one that they want. So we'll look at getting rid of the Panthers one. Obviously they're going to have to eat their whole salary. So we'll look at that, see what it opens up. And it looks like they're at least willing to bite, but for a first round pick for Dahlin at 34, like in real life, yeah, I would do it. But in the game, like, maybe not. Max Osgood. I mean, he is doing pretty decent this year. Max Osgood could be one of those guys that I could let go, but let's sprinkle some more random picks here and see what they will, if they're willing to budge here. Probably a player at this point. Cool, Osgood. So it didn't look like they budged on anything here. Take off the 5th and 4th because it doesn't look like it really added anything to it. Yeah, it's same exact players. So Stepanov looks like he's available for that. We'll look at our rights here quickly. McGuffin looking like he should be good. 5-star player potential. Crazy. 3.5 between 3.5 and 5. That's the one that we got for Jonah. Still not ready to make his debut. We also have Beskfield Flukiger. Let's see. And I still kind of want the same. Let's no, I don't want to give abs. Duris I'll give. And again, they just want the same players over and over again. His speed's pretty good though. I know he's only a 4th line player. Look at our lines actually. I mean, he's not playing. You know what? Let's go back into that. Maybe, can we afford it though? 3 million, 3.4. We'd have to give up more players, I find. Maybe get the job done. I feel as though we have to give up a defender though. Maybe a lefty that might be making a little bit more money than what they should. So I'll take off Duris here and Flukiger because I don't think it really changed anything. We'll see, they wanted Max Osgood, but I kind of want to give them another player though, and maybe get something back. So we'll look at the cap hit. Bieber could be one of those guys. 67 grade though. So how do you really justify that? I don't know why it's going to Blue Jackets players right off the bat. Plaxton, no, I don't want to get rid of Plaxton. Latorno, I don't really want to get rid of him either. Could get rid of Allen. Allen's graded around 65. He is probably going to take a spot though. I think that should kind of balance it out. And let's see what we can get coming back our way. So we'll swap for their first. That seems weird that we'd be able to swap first round picks. So we'll have to kind of let that marinate and see what else we'd have to give up. But if we get Darlene for Allen and a first, and basically just swap first, where's Columbus right now? Columbus is at the top. I don't even know why you'd want to get rid of Darlene, but obviously we're doing it more so for the cap. And yeah, we're not hearing anything yet. And we'll probably log off on this after we end up finding out the conclusion to this. 3-2 loss. Regulation, that's not good. Aaron and Spanberg with the lone goals, but obviously Connor McDavid leading the way. It's going to be a little bit of a tough challenge, but does look like we end up losing to our first, I wouldn't say bad team, but not what you would expect. Obviously, I'd expect to lose to maybe Knights if we have to, and Stepanov injured. Let's take a look at this. No way. I cannot agree with this trade, but it's close to being all right. Okay. No, that's ridiculous. Okay. So let's give him we'll give him a 2nd round pick going back their way. I wish that it was more immediate though. I don't like that you have to wait. I wish that it would happen pretty immediate, because if I was talking to a team and I was trying to facilitate a trade, it'd be pretty quick. Like you wouldn't be waiting forever. Especially some guy on trade block. Oh damn, I shouldn't have done that. 4-1 loss there. It didn't get a chance to reset everything. I think we have maybe an injured player there. Yeah. Aaron now hurt for 4 days. I think Stepanov was in the lineup when he was injured, but back-to-back games here. And I mean, I should have ended it before, because it looks like we did a little bit better before we end up logging off to the end. A loss to Edmonton, a loss to Tampa, and better be a win to Dallas. Reinhold obviously going to get the nod for this game. Like I said, not getting the trade reply that quick is increasingly frustrated. We do get 5-2 win there. Stutzel, Plaxton, Spanberg, and Stutzel in the first, and then Plaxton in the third. but ultimately running away with that one. So still waiting to see the trade, and then obviously we'll jump to the end of the season and the playoffs and kind of see where everything is. 35 wins for Augustin though, and taking their time. No way again. Are they going to at least be quicker about it? It's close to being all right, but we can't offer them anything else. Maybe take away a third. I'll give up another second. Obviously, I don't think that's going to do it, but we'll have to wait and see. Obviously, I'm not going to log off until I end up getting a definitive answer there. Columbus now, 7-0. Wow. Spanberg, Bieber, Osgood score in the first. Zelezny, Stutzel, and Watson, and then Latorno. They have 75 points though. Obviously, I want to get the job done, but I think Dahlin is definitely a game changer for us if we can manage to get him. Even though he is aging out, I'm okay with even buying him out if we have to, or trading him away, obviously. No way. Oh my god. Okay, so I guess we'll take away the first round pick. We'll take around the 2 seconds. But you'd expect, like, I wish that they could respond quickly. We'll see what happens when we get their, oh, let's do their next year's. What the hell? So, but this is exactly what I offered them before. Why do they want more players? Alright, I guess we're not going to get to the end of that. We'll have to figure it out next episode to see whether or not we manage to get Dahlin. I'm going to go obviously all in on that, see what we can do, but I mean, let's double check before I go crazy here. Is he worth it? Greater on 69, he's 35 points. Top line minutes. Let's we'll compare him with Allen that we're getting rid of. Obviously he's more of a lefty, but he can play both. Getting open. Yeah, so just a little bit better in most areas. Some of them are tied. Checking higher, face-offs, it doesn't matter. Hitting, a little bit better. Positioning's worse. And shot blocking and stick checking is around the same. Defensive read. So defensively, it does look like Allen might be a bit better. Acceleration, though, a little bit better all across the board here on Dahlin. And then obviously mental just destroys him. Offensive still, obviously the edge is more so towards Dahlin, but we'll have to see if I can manage to get him even for, what, 4 million? Yeah, 4.5. I'll do that all day. But hopefully you can get the job done. Leave a like, subscribe if you want to see more, and thank you for watching. Until next time.